Welcome to lesson 1 of Excel. In this lesson, you're going to learn Excel 2.3, and you're going to learn of the components that are in Excel. And you're going to start with learning what is a spreadsheet. So a spreadsheet is a grid of vertical columns and horizontal rows. These are the vertical columns, which are represented by A, B, C, D all the way to the end, and the horizontal rows, which are 1, 2, 3 all the way until to the end. So these are what we refer to as the vertical columns, and these are what I call the horizontal row. So a cell is where a column and a row intersect. So this is what we call a cell. This one, okay, is what you call a cell. Okay, so right now I can say I'm in cell C5. Okay, so you look it here, or you can come and check it here, C5. Right now I'm in G18. Here it is on top here. So the next thing you're going to see is the cell reference. That's the one that I've been referring to, the G18. Okay, so the cell reference or address consists of two coordinates, the column letter followed by the row number. So example C45. A workbook is the entire spreadsheet containing more than one page. So this is called an Excel book 1. Okay, so this is a book because it has this sheet, this other sheet, and the other sheet. So in short, a book is a collection of pages, and here we have only 3 pages, which is referred to as a workbook. Okay, so we have a cell pointer. So a cell pointer in Excel is this one that is in black in color. So it tells you which cell you are in. Okay, so here I'm in E9. So you know it because it's much darker than the rest of the cells. Okay, this is what we call a cell pointer. If you're using Windows XP, you're going to come to all programs, and then you come all the way to Microsoft Office, and then you come and look for Microsoft Office Excel 2.3. And if you're using Windows 10, you come to the start, and then you can just search, you can just write Excel. Okay, so in my case I have to 2016, and I have these 2 or 3 that I will be using. You're just going to choose this, and it's going to open. Here it is, and it has everything that we need so that we can get started. The next thing, you're going to learn the components of Excel. Excel has this name box, the one that we used to see the cell address. And then we have the formula bar. This is where we are going to see the formula, and so we are going to edit the content. Here is the cell pointer, the one that I showed you before. And then this is the column header, this one up here. This is the row header. This area here is the worksheet area. And these are the sheet tabs. I hope you have understood the components of Excel. The other thing you're going to learn how to enter numeric data, titles, and labels. Entering text. Text is any combination of a number, spaces, numerical characters, and etc. You know what is a text. All text entered is at the left hand side. Number is aligned to the right, and the number is composed of 0 to 9, or date, currency, and so on and so forth. And we can also interact with formula, but we are going to see them afterwards. Let me go to my Excel so that I can show you the difference between text and numbers and formulas. If I say day 1, so this is text, you know, so this is text, day 1. You can see it's aligned to the left. But if I write 12, it's going to be aligned to the right hand side. Okay, so this is aligned to the right, and this is aligned to the left. That's how you differentiate between text and a number. Another thing that is cool about Excel is that if I write day 2, if I select both of them, and then I come here to the plus sign, I hope you're seeing it, guys, you can autofill, so that you can have now from day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way to day 22. If I write 1, and then down here I come and write 2, okay, so you know that automatically the next number is supposed to be 3. You see, it is going to fill it in for you. That's why we have this cool feature called types of series that Microsoft Excel can fill for you. Even if we had Monday here, we know after Monday we go to Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, okay? Tuesday. The next day is supposed to be on Wednesday. So you select, look for this plus, and then you drag all the way to where you want to reach. It's going to fill it for you. I want us to create a small table where we'll see text, and we also see numbers, and we also see a formula. If I come and write here name Max John, James, Melissa, Alex, Jordan. This is text. 67, 67, 34, 88, 34, 22. This is numbers. This is text. You can see the difference. It's aligned to the left, it's aligned to the right. That's how you know the difference between a text and number. If I want to carry out the total of these marks, I can come and write the formula. Don't worry, we're going to learn about it later in the lessons. So I'm going to write is equals and then sum, new, close. So you can see the is equal sign, and then you write the function and then the range of cells. So we are going to start from B2, which is 67, all the way to B6, which is 22. Then you press enter. So it's going to show you the total. And you can see here on the formula bar, it's going to write the formula for you. In the formula bar, it's going to give you the formula itself, and then here it's going to compute that formula, and it gives you the total of the marks that we have up here. So this is a formula, this is numbers, this is text. So if we go back to the menu, we're going to see how to select a range of cells. We're going to learn about the editing contents of a cell and moving to a specific cell, deleting cell content, hiding rows and column, saving a file, workbook, and exiting. We have two types of selection. We have a continuous selection, where I just press the left mouse button without releasing and selecting where to the point where I want. And if you want non-continuous, I can select this, and then I press Control key, and then I select another portion. Without releasing the Control key, I select another portion, I select another portion. This is what we call non-continuous selection. So selecting more than one part of the screen, okay? Right now it does not make sense, but at times we have to create a chart where maybe I have name marks, and then maybe here I have maybe English marks, okay? So maybe this is maths. If you want to edit, you can edit here, maths. So this is English, so English 25, 23, 34. If I want the total will be this and then that, okay? For now, don't worry, I'm going to show you everything. At one point you will need to create a chart, and you want to create a chart of the name of the student and the English marks. So how do you go about it? You have to select name, and now you come and select English. So this is what we refer to as non-continuous, because you selected here and you also selected here at the same time, so that you can create a chart. So I hope you have understood. If you want to achieve that, you have to select normally using the left mouse button without releasing, and then now you press Control key on your keyboard, and then you come and select again without releasing the Control key, until when you're done, that's when you release both the keyboard control and the mouse left button. If you want to hide a column and a row, what you do, you have to select that column, and then you come to format column, and then you can say hide. You see now we don't have F. If you want to unhide, you have to select format column and hide. If it's a row, you have to come and select it, format row, and then you can hide. If you want to delete, maybe I want to delete this C, I have to select, and then I come to edit, delete, and it is deleted. At times you need to edit content in your cells. In Excel, you have to select. So I know I've misspelled this name Melissa. Edit intentionally so that you can come and rectify. You have to select the name. If I press backspace, it's going to erase the entire word, and you don't want that. So what you do, the first thing, you can double click on it using the left mouse button. You double click on the name. If you see that blinking eye, you know it's time to edit. Okay, but if that is tough for you, you can just come to the formula bar and you edit and you write Mel. Okay, another way is to select the name you want to edit and you press F2 on your keyboard and then you write Melissa. So you have three ways. The first way is to double click on the name until you get that blinking eye. The other way is to select and edit it from the formula bar here. Okay, the other way is to select the name and press F2 on your keyboard. The next thing I'm going to teach you is how to move to a specific cell. For example, I'm going to type in 205. If I come here and I want to move to T205, you have four ways. The first way is to use your mouse to drag this and then scroll down until you find that number that you had written before. The other way that does not involve you using your mouse is to use the arrow keys. So I'm here and I want to move there, so I have to use the down arrow key, and then I go all the way to 205. Okay, it's tiring. 205, and then I go like that using the right key on the keyboard, and then you achieve that cell reference that you are seeking for. Another way you can do it is by pressing Ctrl G. I'm in A1 and I want to go to T205. So you just have to press Ctrl G on a keyboard and then you write in T205 and then you say okay, and you go direct to that point. So if I want to go back, Ctrl G and then A1, and you go back to A1. Another shortcut is to press F5 on a keyboard. When you press F5, it's going to bring you that window, and you're going to type in T205 and you say okay, and here you are. If you want to save, I told you before in MS Word we have a save and save as. So the difference is that save as is used to save the document for the first time, and save is used to save a document that already exists. So in our case, we are going to save it for the first time, so we are going to use save as. I'm going to save it as names and marks, and then I'm going to say save. Right now you can see our title bar has changed to name marks. Now if you want to exit, you just press this, close, and you're done. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to apply numbers and currency formats effectively, learn how to insert and delete columns and rows, add borders to your worksheet, apply auto formats to your worksheet. In short, you're going to learn how to interact with Excel, how to format it and make it more attractive. So let's get into it. So let me open the work that we had used earlier. File, open, and then you go to where you had saved your work. I had saved it as names. Then I say open. Wait for it. There it is. I'm going to add another. Let me copy this. So you have to copy, select, edit, copy, select, edit. Yes, we have two English. So I want to show you how to insert and how to delete a column and a row. Apparently, let me just call it Kiswahili so that you cannot be confused. So Kiswahili. Okay. I have realized I want to add maybe chemistry before English and Kiswahili. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come here. I have to select that column, which is D, and then I come to insert and then column. So it's going to come on the left, and then I can add my biology or chemistry. Now you have inserted a column. Now maybe you have realized you want to add another student. You can just come here and then you come to insert, and then you come say row, and it will insert another row. I want us to delete these columns and this row you have created. So you have to select it. You have to come to edit, then delete. So you have to come to edit, then delete. Select, edit, delete. That's how you go about it. The next thing, you're going to learn how to format. There are some things we already did in Microsoft Word, like changing the font typeface. Okay, that's very easy. You just have to select continuous selection, and then you choose the font type that you have been instructed, or the one that makes you happy. If it's this, and put another font type. Another way is to select, and then you come to format, cells, and then you go all the way to font, and then you can choose the font type that you want. To me, use that or that. You can bold it. You can increase the font size to maybe 12. Then you say okay. So that's how you do it, guys. So you have seen freestyle script 12. So that's how you change the font type. The other thing we can do, we can underline our text, or you can format it to where you press. So you just have to come to format, you come to cell, and then you go to font. You can put strikes through. You can underline your work. You see. So let me just use single. You can choose even the color, and you can choose either bold, italic, or bold, or italic, or regular. So and then you can say okay. So that's how you do it, guys. It's not that hard. So if you want to change the font color, you can come here and say automatic, like the way you did in Microsoft Word. I'm going to reverse by pressing Ctrl Z, or you come here and press this undo button. So right now I want to show you how to format numbers. I want to put a currency, or I want to put decimals. So we can achieve that by formatting. So I will just select until there, format, cell, and then you come to number. So you can choose number. This is where you want to add decimal place. So here you're going to put 2 decimal places, okay? Or you can choose currency. So currency is where you want to put a decimal place, and you want to choose the symbol for maybe Kenya shillings, or these currencies, symbols for currencies you can choose. But let's go with Kenya shillings because that's our currency. And then you say maybe okay, and you see it has changed. Maybe here I have 67,000. Normally it's supposed to be 6,700. okay, I have to select. So format, cell, so number. You can just come and use this separator, okay? So you can put or remove, okay? So you see the difference if you have the use 1,000 separator with a comma. So if you remove, it will remain as 67. The other formatting we can learn. So let's return it to normal. The other thing we can interact with is alignment. So come to format, cell, alignment. You can play with this, okay? You see what you are going to achieve. So I'm going to go to alignment. You can align your text at a certain angle. Our text, which is this one, I want it to align it to maybe to 45 degrees. So you have to use this, and then you say okay. Now you see our text has been aligned to an angle of 45 degrees. So you can also align it to negative 45. You can just come and type here negative, okay, or you use the button all the way to 45, and then you say okay. This is negative 45, this one is positive 45, negative 45, positive 45. So that's how you achieve the alignment. You come to cell, and then you can do that from here. You align to the place where you want. The other thing is font. We have talked about font. We have talked about strike 2, superscript, and subscript. Superscript is where you have maybe 3 power 2. So that 2 is what you will call superscript. And when you have H2O, that 2 in H2O is a subscript 2O. So I have to come and select that, format, cell, and then subscript. Okay, you see now, this is a chemical compound of water. Okay, that's how you do it. The other thing you're supposed to learn is how to put borders. Right now, maybe you're thinking that our work has borders, but when you print preview, it doesn't. The borders that you're seeing, they are virtual. They are just there to guide you to know which cell you are in. If you want to put borders, you have to select your work, and then you come to format, cell, and then you come and choose border, and then you can choose the color of your border. You can choose the type of your border. If you want that to be outside, you come and say outline, and inside you can come and choose this and choose maybe blue and put, and you say okay. So now you have a border. Now if you print preview, you will see now you have border to our work. I hope you have understood. That's how you put a border in your work. So you have to select, and then you come to format, then cell, and then border. If you want to put maybe a background color to your work, you have to come to pattern, and then here you can choose the pattern maybe, or maybe you can choose a color without a pattern. You just say blank, and then you choose the color to be orange, and then you say okay. And when you print preview, you see now you have a background to your work. If I want it to be in the entire page, I have to select that portion, format, cell, and then maybe no color, and then I say okay, and then I come back to it, and then I can choose a pattern like that, and maybe I can give my pattern a color. Okay, and then I say okay. Now you see we have a pattern. I hope you can see it. And then you have colored it to turquoise. I want to learn how to rename, how to delete, and how to copy your worksheet. Okay, I'm going to undo. Okay, I can just say and select this area. I want it to be no color. Okay, so it can be like that. I want to rename this worksheet so that it can have maybe from 1 max, so I can call it form 1. So if you want to rename, you have to right click on it. Okay, right click on it so that it can give you these options. Then you left click on rename, and then you can now be able to erase, because it's now black, means it has been highlighted. When you press backspace, it's going to erase, and then you say form 1, and then I can select rename F2. Okay, right click, rename F3. Maybe I want to it from 4 and I don't have, so I have to right click, insert, and then I come and say worksheet. Okay, hope you are seeing it, and then I say okay, and then here it is, and I want it to be form 4. But now you see I have form 1, form 2, form 4, form 3, and I want it to be form 1, form 2, all the way to form 4. So what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to drag this F4, you bring it behind here. Okay, you just have to drag, use this this arrow to know where you are, and then when you reach the destination, you release the left mouse button. The other thing you're supposed to do is to copy and to delete. If you want to copy, you can select and select, and then you can come to edit, and then you can say copy. Okay, come to this other part and come to edit and say paste. Now I have form 1, I have form 2. So the other way of copying is selecting, right click, copy, come to this, right click, paste. Another way is to press Ctrl C on your keyboard and then come here, Ctrl V. Before you do all that, you have to select. I want to undo all that so that you can learn how to cut. If you want to cut, you have to come to edit, cut. The first thing you have to select, and then you come to edit, cut. Now you see, it means now you have cut. Now you come to F2, you come to this cell, edit, paste. Now you see you have moved from form 1 to form 2. Cut means shifting position or changing position. Okay, so copy means making a copy or a duplicate. So the other way of cutting is to right click on it, you select, don't forget to select, right click, cut, come to form 1 again, right click, paste. At times you don't have to copy to the place where you have cell A1. You can come even here, and right click and say paste. The same as copying, you see, now it's in from cell E31 all the way to H31, and then all the way to E37, H37. Okay, but let's put it up here, right click, paste. The other way is Ctrl X, Ctrl V. Okay, now I hope you have understood. If you want to delete these sheets, maybe you want to delete this, all of them, you have to just right click on it. I can come and say delete, and it has been deleted. Now we are in lesson 3. In lesson 3, we are going to learn how to create a simple chart using Chart Wizard, create different types of charts, embed a chart in your worksheet, and get a separate worksheet. We've already created this data. I want us to see how you can, maybe before it was like that. Okay, now you can see you can't see the entire word. So how you do, you just come here, and then when it gives you that like plus sign, you're going to click it, and then you can drag it until it fits well. You can see we have total. So I want us to use the formula to get the total. The first way, it's a long one, so you can come and say is equals, you click that cell, and then you put a plus on your keyboard, and then you select that, you put a plus, you select that plus, and then that. Now you have B, B5, C5, D5, and then E5. But remember, first to start with an is equal sign. If you don't put an is equal sign, it's not going to work. Okay, and then you press enter. It's going to give you the total, but that's the wrong way, is it? So the next way is to come here. You just have to press the is equal sign, and then you come and say sum, and then you open the brackets. So you have to put B6 to E6, and then you say okay, yes, like that. So the other way is to come here, so you have to come here, and then function, and then since we have already used it, you're supposed to see it, so here it is, and then you say okay. So what am I supposed to add? You come and press that, and then you select the range of cells until there. You press this icon, so it's from B7 to E7, and then you say okay. Now you see, now the rest you can just come here to this plus, and then you drag it downwards so that it can autofill. So the other one you just come to X, Okay, you can just type it in the function here, sum go, and then date is okay. So it's going to select the range here there, then you press this again, and then you say okay, and then you autofill the total to the less than there. If you want to create a chart, you have to select the area where you want to create the chart. So there it is, and then you come to insert, and then chart, and then you have the chart type, so you can come and see the types we have. Okay, so we have the column, we have bar all the way to pyramid. Okay, so you have all this. Okay, but I want us to use the column. So if you come to the right hand side, you have the chart subtype. So if you click each of the type, you're going to see it has the name down here, stacked column. The one is called 100% stacked, and this one you have the 3D. So all of them has some name. So if you're given in an exam, so you should know how to check for the name of that chart by clicking on it. So it's a pie chart, and then this one is recorded and exported by this is an exported pie with 3D visual effects and so on. So let me use this one. Okay, then you can hold to preview the sample, but we don't want it to look like that. So we're going to go to next. Okay, let's use the countries, and then we go next. So here is where you're going to give the title Holiday Africa. Holiday South Africa, and then come to the regent, and then you say this is what you call a regent. Say you want it to come to the bottom. Okay, and then data labels, show the series name. Okay, category name, value, and the percentage. Okay, and then you can come back to title and say next, and you can you can finish. So here it is. So this is an exported pie chart showing the first quarter for these countries, but as you can see it's squeezed. So if you want to make it bigger, you have to come here and drag it outwards so that you can see it better. So it's showing you percentage, it's showing you the number, okay, and it is showing you the heading. If you want to delete it, you're just going to press delete key. You select the pie chart and press delete key. Now I want to go create a bar chart, so I have to select insert chart, and then I come and say this one, and then I come and say next. I think this one looks better. Use rows, and then the title is Holidays South Africa. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. So you can come and come here, grid. If you want to put the grid lines, you can put them here. The legend, let's say if you want it to come here at the bottom, you can just click there. If you want it to be at the corner, top, right, left, okay, this way you choose. Data labels, if you want it to put the series name, okay, category name, or the value. And then we have the data table. You want it to also put a table, so you can just come here and say show table, okay, down there. Then you say next, and then finish. Since it's squeezed, you can enlarge it by dragging it like that. And then we have our chart, which looks like that, a bit big. Let me just squeeze it like that, so that everything can fit. Okay, so like that. If you want to create a chart that fits in its own sheet, so you're going to select, okay, like that, and then you're going to press F11 on your keyboard, and it will create a chart by default, and it's going to be on its own sheet, okay, called chart 2. I hope you have understood. So about the chart, it's not that difficult. We are in lesson 4, and you're going to learn how to link several worksheets within one workbook. You're going to learn how to edit the linked worksheet as a group. Changes made to one worksheet will be reflected in the other. So open several worksheets in memory at once so that you can see the results of any changes you make. They seem a bit tough, but when we do practical, we're going to understand. I want us to rename this sheet to be branch 1. So rename branch 1, and then the other one you write branch 2, branch 2, okay, and then we want to write summary. For instance, it's a bank. This bank has its review for the first quarter, second quarter, okay, maybe for branch 1, and then we have branch 2, which has to do the same thing. But out of the two, we want to make a summary of the both branches. We see maybe they got the total of this in first quarter, second quarter, okay. So we are going to use Excel to carry out those functions. I want us to link the 3 sheets P1. And how do you do that? You just have to come to Windows here on top, and then you can maximize and say new window, okay. So you can see here we have 1, 2. The next thing, you come to branch 2, you just select it, window, new window, so that you can have 3 windows, one to represent branch 1, branch 2, and summary. The other thing that you are going to do is now to arrange the windows in a certain order, either by cascading or by tiling. So how do you arrange them? To come to this where we have branch 1, which is in this chart 1, chart 2, and chart 3. So in this chart 1, I'm going to come and come to Windows and say arrange, and then after you come here, you will see you can arrange your windows as either tiled, horizontal, vertical, or cascading. So I'm going to choose a cascade, and I'm going to say okay. Now you can see I have chart 1, chart 2, and chart 3. So if I want to access chart 2, I just have to click there. Chart 3, I have to click there. So you can see it is on top of each other. That's what we mean by cascading. The next thing to check if you have linked our sheets is by coming here, so that you can add the two branches, so that you can get the summary. You can add the total for the first quarter for Burundi. As usual, you have to put an equal sign, and then you come to branch 1, you come and pick this, and then you can come on top here. Okay, before that, you're supposed to carry out the sum. So I'm going to come and say is equals, and then I'm going to say sum into brackets. I have to come and pick this branch 1 here, and then I add branch 2, this chart 2. So you come and press this, it's going to come here, and then you cross the brackets, and then you press enter. So you can see the total for branch 1 and branch 2 is 300 for first quarter for Burundi. Okay, for the sake for us understanding better, I'm going to repeat the same process. I'm going to come to Rwanda now, and then I come over here, and then I type in is equal sign, and then sum. Okay, sum 85 plus, so this branch 1 plus branch 2, so branch 2 is here, chart 2, so it's here for 85. Okay, we add those two, and then you press enter. I'm going to repeat for the second quarter is equal sign sum of this 120 plus. I'm going to come and choose branch 2, so cascade again, and then chart 2, you pick that, and then you close the bracket. So you can see we have is equals sum, and then open bracket branch 1, so it is taking this name, okay, and then this exclamation mark 65, so it's the cell reference for that branch 1, and then plus you add the 2 branch 2, okay, branch 2, which is the name of this branch 2, and then exclamation mark 65, which is the cell address of second quarter. And then when you press enter, it's going to come here, okay. So I hope you have understood. So now I can come here and do that, okay, that way, and then this one I can come and fill it that way, and then I can drag it all the way to that point. So if I come here, you can see the function is equal to B9, okay, B9 for branch 1 and B9 for branch 2. So I hope you have understood how to link several worksheets so that you can interact with them. So if you want to arrange, you can use either child, okay, which can be either horizontal, vertical, or cascade. So this is even much easier compared to the one that I was using. So we have branch 1, branch 2, and summary. So if I can just remove this one here, and just come here and say to the formula bar is equals okay, so the sum of branch 1, this one, and then the sum of branch 2, and then you close the brackets, then you press enter. So we have an error. Oh, you're supposed to have a 9 here. So enter, okay. So 110 plus 110 is supposed to be 220. We are in lesson 5. In this lesson, we are supposed to learn how to plan and build a simple database, sort the database, create new fields, maintain a database using data form, adding subtotals to a database, and set the database using the auto filter. We have this database. I've already created it in my Excel. We are supposed to learn some few names that or terms that are used in a database. So we have the database size, and then we have the field name, and then we have the records. So in a nutshell, the order number, order date, coref, core name, and value are what we refer to as the field name or the fields. And this one down the field name, we have this, okay, we have these, the records. Now we have 1001 all the way to 1009. So these are what we refer to as the records. We have been told that data size can be as large as the entire worksheet, but cannot occupy more than one worksheet. So what we mean, if you have sheet 1, a database can just only fit in sheet 1. So you cannot have a database that has sheet 1 and sheet 2. We have the field name. A database can contain up to 256 fields. In terms of counting this, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 fields. And the maximum of fields that we can have, we are supposed to have 256 fields. So the first row of the database must contain the field name. So field name must consist of letters only, not numbers, blank cells, etc. So field name can be up to 256 characters long and must be unique. This field name should be unique to the rest of the fields that we have. So records can contain up to 16,383 records. So every record must have the same fields, but fields can be left blank. So do not enter extra blank as start of fields. About capitalization, Excel ignores upper or lowercase letters when searching or sorting the database. So you may use either Smith with all caps, or Smith with no caps, or Smith with just capital S rocket a record. As in short, you can use capital letters, but you can also use small letters to search for the same word that has capital letters. Now it's about sorting the database. So now you are going to go to Excel. I've already created the field names, so I can just put them so that you can distinguish between the field names and the records. These are the field name and these are the records. I hope you have understood. What you're going to do is you're going to sort the records. So you have to select, and then now you come to data, and then you go to sort. So sorting is either arranging either descending or ascending order. So we are going to come and say sort. So when you click, it's going to bring you this window. So it asks you whether to sort by order number, or you can choose by order date, corref, name, or value. So as you can realize, we are using the field names to sort. Let me say we sort by name and we sort by ascending, and then I say okay. So it has sort our data using the name here, and you can see it has arranged them from smallest to largest. So if I want to arrange in descending order, I just have to come to data, sort, and then descending, and then I say okay. Now you can see, now we start with Sai all the way to Aksha. Let me use another field name to sort. So I'm just going to come and say data, sort, and then let me use order number, and then we arrange, and voila. Now you start from 1 all the way to 9. Okay, so that's all about sorting, and I hope you have understood. Next thing I'm supposed to learn is being to create new fields by calculations. So we are going to add 2 new fields to our database. We are going to add VAT and total, and they have been told the VAT field will hold the 16% VAT, and then the total is going to hold the VAT plus the order value. I hope you like mathematics. So we are going to add here VAT, okay, as we have been told, and they're going to add total. We have VAT and we have total. So we have added 2 new fields, and they're being told VAT is 16% of this value. Okay. So that we can achieve the VAT, you're going to write is equal sign, and then we are going to write 0.16. So 0.16 means 16%, which is 16 over 100. So when you convert, it's going to give you 0.16. And then you multiply with the number that we have over there. So we are going to multiply with this value, okay, which is E2. And when you press enter, it's going to give you 68,800. So this is 16% of the value. For those who have not understood, I'm saying, so that you can carry out the VAT, you're supposed to put an is equal sign, and then 0.16, okay, you multiply by the number of the value, okay, and you press enter. Now you are going to fill the others. So you select that, this is just the formula already, and then you come here and drag all the way to here. So now you're supposed to find the total. Where you do the total is the sum of this value and the VAT. So that's very easy. So I just have to come and press is equal sign. I have to use sum, okay, this is the function, and then I'll have to open the brackets. Inside here I have to add these 2 ranges. So you just have to select, okay, and then you press enter. So the total of this plus this is this. The other way you can do is press is equal sign, and then you add this plus this, okay, and then you press enter, and then you can fill to the other cells. Next thing you're going to learn is how to maintain our database using data form. If you want to manage our database, you can either do it the way we have done manually, or you can use database. So you fill in the records manually like I did before, or you can use what you call as the data form. So if you want to use the data form, you have to select, okay, then you come to data, and then you're going to see form. Here it is. When you press it, you're going to see the records here. We have this button, new. This is when you want to add a new record. This is when you want to delete a certain record. This is to find a previous record. Okay, this is to find the next record. So find next, you're going to go to this number 2. Next, number 3. So if you want to go back to number 2, you're going to press previous. Okay, so criteria is for searching. If I want to search a certain record, so if I want to search using order number, I just have to come and type 1. If I find next, going to give me that record. It is for searching and this is for closing. If I want to close, that's how you do it. So I'm just going to go back so that you can add a new record, and then I go to form, and then I come to new, and then I come and add 1 0 0 0. Let me just put 1 0 0 10. Okay, and then I'm going to use 13 December 12. Ref, I'm just going to give him a certain number. Name, we call them Patel Garage. The value is, let me just put a number. So as you realize, you cannot add the VAT and you cannot add the total. The reason being, we used computations to carry out the VAT and total. When you put the number to the system, the value here, it's going to carry out the VAT and the total automatically because you used a formula. Let me add another record. You're going to see now we have this record that we have added using data form, and now we have this this value, and you can see it has already computed as the VAT and the total. So that's how you use the data form. And since we have finished using it, you can now close. Okay, so now we have a new record which is called Patel Garage. So and we have already put the value. Now this other one is going to be computed by the machine since we had already put in the formula. Okay, so the next thing you're going to learn is adding using subtotal. We're going to go back to our work and they have to select. Okay, and now we go to data and then subtotal. Subtotal is used to add, so you can see, let me first start using the name. So data sort using name, okay, either ascending, so that we can see those people who have more than one account. So Aksha males, okay. So for those people who have the garages, who have more than one garages, and those who have one garages, you can see them clearly. So Aksha has 2, Amils has 3, Hughes has 1, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so subtotal, what it does, it will add the sum of these 2, these 3, 1. Okay, so that you can have the total of each individual, and then it will give you the subtotal of all of them. So now, since we have already arranged, we have to come and select again, come to data, and then subtotal. We are taking the total off using the core name, so that you can have the name of the person and the total that he or she has. So we have to choose core name here, and then you can leave this to total, and then you can say okay. Now you can see the total for Aksha. Okay, you can see the total for Amils. Hues, you can see the total, Kamau's, Patel, and Sai. So we can see we have the 3 outlines. We have number 1. So number 1 is where you can have only the grand total of all the totals, and then number 2 is where you have the Aksha total, Amils, okay, each individuals. So you have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and then down here you have the grand total. And then the third one is where now you can see everything. So you can see Aksha, the records for Aksha, and the total, which is here, the total for Amils, okay, you can see. So this is how you carry out the subtotal. So the next thing you're going to learn is how to filter records. Filter, so this is the process where you can choose a certain record for a certain person, okay, or if you want to see the records for Amils autos only, okay. So I want us to learn how to go about that. You have to select, now you come to data, now you come to filter, and then auto filter. So it's going to bring this button for choosing the records which you want to choose. So I'm going to come here and maybe choose Amils. So it's going to give me the records for Amils, more autos only. So if I want to choose for Kamau's, I just view the details for Kamau Garage. So value to use this custom. So I want us to have a value that exceeds 50,000. So I just have to come here and say it's greater than or equal to 50,000. You have to type in the number, okay, 50,000, and then you say okay. So it's going to give you the records that have exceeded 50,000. So that's how you carry out the custom search. So if you are through, you can just come here, filter, and show all, okay, and you can remove this auto filter, okay. So filtering is easy, and I hope you have understood. So the next thing we can learn is how to carry out advanced filter. So advanced filter is much complex than the normal filter, and how you go about it is a bit complex, but if you follow me, it's going to be easy, okay. So the first thing is to come and copy, okay, cut, and then you bring them to here, okay. So you first select, and then you cut, and then you come to you count 1, 2, 3, and then on the 1, 2, 3. So on the third one you paste the record so that you can, no, on the 5th one, cut here, so that you can have 3 gaps, 1, 2, 3, okay. The first thing you do. So the other thing you do is to come and now select this, and now you copy the field name and you paste it down here, okay. Now you have this structure now. So advanced filter works like this. You can sort using either a letter. So if I want records that start with A, records that start with K, I have to use advanced filter, or arrange that it's in a given range, okay. So I want to filter records that has S, so you have to write S. So if I write small s, capital S, it's all the same as you saw about capitalization, and then you have to put an asterisk. So asterisk represents the characters that follows afterwards. So these characters that follow here are what is represented by asterisk, okay. So the other thing you do now, you have to select this, okay, and now you have to come to data, and then you come to filter, and then advanced filter, okay, and then you say okay, and then now you want to filter the list, so the list you have already selected, but if you did not select well, you can just press here and you select again, okay, and then you press that to go back, and then the criteria range is here. This is our criteria. Then you press that, and then you want to copy your records down there, so you just have to select the place where you want to copy your records that meet that criteria. So you want them to appear there, and then you come back and then you say okay. So the records that meet our criteria are these two. So we wanted records that has S, okay, and here it is, so it's Sai, and so it's Sai, okay. So even if we had someone like Simon, so let me write Simon, it could also just bring the record. So I'm just going to delete, and then I'm going to do that again. You select, then you come to data, filter, advanced filter, and then our range is this, okay, and then the criteria range is this. Just have to select, and then where do you want to copy? You just want to copy it down here, okay, and then you say okay. So you see, we bring both records of Sai and Simon. So the next thing we can do is when you want to filter the records that has 50,000 and above. So in our case, we have so for this case, you use this one to create another advanced filter. So you copy that and paste it there. So we want to filter this. So our range is going to be greater than 50,000. So we are going to filter these records of Sai and Simon. So which is greater than 50,000 is this one for Simon. So our range is that, okay. And now I go to data, filter, advanced filter, and then the criteria range, it's going to change now its value. And then you just have to go back using that button, and then you copy your results down here, okay, back here, and I say okay. So you see the record that has met the criteria is that for Simon, where we said we first did the advanced filter for name using letter S, that it gave us this and Simon, and then after that we then filtered these records again, that we seek for a value that has more than 50,000, and you have seen that Simon is the one that has that more than 50,000. So advanced filter is a bit tricky, but when you follow the procedure, it is going to work out, and I hope you have understood. Hi, my name is Peter, and today we are in lesson 6 of Microsoft Excel, and we are going to learn about functions and formulas. A formula is an expression which calculates the value of a cell, and a function are the predefined formulas and are already available in Excel. An example of a formula is where you have to write is equals, you pick this cell, then you add this other cell, and then you add the other cell and you press enter. So that's a formula. Or you come and write is equals 10 plus 20 plus 40, maybe 5. This is a formula of adding numbers. Now, a function is when you write is equals, and then write sum, open the brackets, and then you select this range of cell, then you close them, and then you press enter. The word sum is what we refer to as a function. It is an inbuilt formula that is inside Microsoft Excel that helps us to calculate the sum of certain range of cells. Another way to calculate a sum of these three numbers is you come here and then you just have to select, and then when you select you come to auto sum. It's going to give you the sum of the numbers that you have selected. And since it's that simple, you just have to select and then you autofill the rest of the cell. And now you have the total marks of each student for the three subjects. Average is another function in Excel, and it is pretty simple. You have to come here, then fx, and then average, then okay. The range of cell, you just have to select from here all the way to there, then you press here, and then you press okay. So the average of these three subjects is 61.67. I know you understand how average works. So the average, you first get the sum of the three numbers, then divide by the number of cells. Get the sum of this, it is 185 divided by 3. Let's do that. 180 is equals 185 divided by 3. Accurate, isn't it? Again, you can see my average as decimal place. How did I do that? You have to select, hit click, and then you format like I taught you in the previous lessons. And then you come to number, and then you come here and choose 2 decimal places, and then you press OK. Let's proceed. The other way, you can just come and press is equal sign, and then you type in the function average, and then open the brackets, and you want from here to there, you close, and then you press enter. And then you can autofill to the rest of the, and we have the average of all the student. The other thing is you can get the grand total of each subject. You have to come to this cell, press is equal sign, and then you use the sum function. You open the brackets, and then you select, and then you close the brackets, then you press enter. Okay, now you just have to autofill to the other subjects, and you are done. The other thing, we want to find the number of students. Now you are going to use another function we refer to as the count function. And how do you do that? You just have to come and say is equals count, and then you open brackets and you select the range, and then you press enter. So the number of students are 10 students. Okay. And then the other thing is that we want to calculate the maximum marks that student got in English, and it's pretty simple. You have to write it is equals max is the function, and then open the bracket, select the range of cells, close, and we see the highest student, the student who got the highest in English got 89. And then you have to autofill to the rest of the cells. For the minimum number, you use the min function, is equals min, open the brackets, select the range of cells, close, enter, and you get 20. Another way to approach that is to select this cell, then you press fx, and then you come and search for min. And if you can't see it there, you have to press this and then all, and then you can search here min if you know the function, but if you don't, you can search manually by scrolling down where you have m and we have min here, and in the description here it says returns the smallest number in a set of values, ignores logical values and text. Then we are going to say okay, and here we are going to press here to select, and we are going to select from there till there, and then you press OK. So the person who got the minimum marks is 33, and then we have to fill the rest of the cells. Another thing is to calculate the number of students who got greater than 50. In this case, we're going to utilize a function that we call countif. We have to write is equal sign countif function, and then we select a range of cells, comma, and then we open the speech marks. Inside the speech marks, we are going to write greater than 50. It's going to return marks that are greater than 50, and then you press enter. So we find only 4 students got marks that are greater than 50 in English. For the rest, you autofill, and you will see in mathematics 7 students out of 10 got greater than 50, and in science only 8 out of 10 got greater than 50. We want to find the number of students who failed in each subject. It's pretty simple. Again, you're going to use the if function, the countif function is equals countif, open the brackets, select the range of cells, and then comma, open speech marks, and we want to calculate student who got maybe less than 45, and then you cross, and then you say okay. So the student who have failed are only 2 and they got less than 45 have this one and this one, okay, and then you autofit to the of the cells. I hope until there you have understood. Now we are going to come to sheet 2 where I have this data, and I want us to calculate the sum function, count again, and count A. Let's get started. Let's use the count. We want to count the number of cells that we have from here all the way to there. So you have to write is equals count, and then you select the range of cells, and then you close. So we have 8 cells, and then we have count A. So count A returns the cells that are in range that are not empty. For example, we have here how many? 8 plus 1. There's supposed to be 9, but we have this space, so it's going to give us 9 instead of 10. So the range is from here all the way to there. It's going to give us 9 cells because it won't count empty cell. Okay. The other function that we're going to learn is countif. Countif is an Excel function to count cells in a range that meet a single condition, and we use some logical operators like greater than, less than, greater than, less than, and then we can have this, and we can have is equals to check if the condition is met. An example is that we can count only the cells that have bananas only, and we are going to do it. So you type in is equals count if, and you can see it counts the number of cells with the range that meet the given condition. So I'm going to open the brackets, and then I'm going to select these ones. This is our range, comma, and then I'm going to specify banana, only the cells that have bananas, and then you close. It's going to give you 3 cells that meet the condition. So we have this one, and this one. Another way we can use this to calculate the number that have met maybe greater than 20. You just have to type is equals count if, in the brackets you select the range of cell, comma, then you open speech marks. Inside the speech marks you type greater than 20. That's our condition. Then you close, then you press enter. So we have this, and this is the only one that has greater than 20. You can come here and write less than, and you get 3 of them. The one that we have less than 20, we have 10. But if you wanted that only has 20, you could just come and place is equal sign, and you get 3 again. We have only 3 fruits that has 20. This one, and this one. The other function that we're going to learn is the sum if function, and the sum if function returns the sum of cells that meet a single condition. Maybe we want to calculate the sum of bananas only in this list. You can copy this, then we paste, then it is we want bananas. This is our condition. Then here you can come and type is equals sum if, you open the brackets, and then you can select this first, comma, condition is bananas, comma, and then the place that we want to add, and then you close and you press enter, and you can see sum for bananas. Here we have 30, 20, and we have 20, and you add the 30 plus 20 plus 20, it will give you 70. If you change the condition here and you write oranges, you see it is going to give you 20. And if you have pineapples, just have to write here pineapples. It's going to give you a sum of 50. So the sum if functions returns only the sum of the cells that meet a certain condition, and the condition that we have here is the pineapples, so it's going to give you the sum of pineapples. I hope you have understood how to do that. Another thing that we can do with sum if, maybe we can give it another condition. Maybe we come here and we write, we erase this, we come here and write is equals, and then sum if, you open the brackets, you select this range of cells, comma, and then inside the bracket, or inside the speech marks, you write you want the sum that has only greater than 10. And then you close the brackets, you press enter. It's going to return only the sum of the sum that meets above 10, and it's going to add the values that has 20 and 30. Okay, very simple. Now we can look at other functions. The other function that we are going to look at is the if function, and it is very simple to use. I'm going to have and you want to find people who are heavy or light, and the condition is maybe use if you are greater than 50 you're heavy, and if you're less than 50 you're light. So we are going to use if function. You have to write is equals, then you write if, open the brackets. Our logical test is this k5 comma, no, before you write comma you give it the criteria, which is greater than 50. If you have more than 50 kgs, you're going to say you're heavy. If not, you're going to say you're light. So you open the speech marks. Inside the speech marks, you're going to give the first test. You're going to say, if it's true, you're going to say he or she is heavy. And if false, that is, if that person is less than 50 kgs, you're going to say he or she is light. And then you close, and you can see we started with an equal sign. If the condition that you want to test is in this cell k5 is greater or equal to 50, use that. And if that person meets the condition, you're going to say it's he or she is heavy. And if it is false, that means if the condition is not met, you're going to say he or she is light. And when you press enter, you're going to see 45 does not meet the condition, so it's false. So you're going to choose light. And for the others, it's going to say they are heavy because 7 is greater than 50, and also 59 is greater than 50. Maybe if you have another person named John, and we say 43, if you select, you're going to say that John is light. So that's an easy way of using if function. Another way to utilize the if function is when you want to calculate the grade of student. Let's create a table here. So let's say if a student gets 70 to 100, that's an A. And if a student gets 60 to 9, give the grade of B. And if a student gets 50 to 59, we award C. 40 to 49, D. And less than 39, it's fail. I'm going to create another cell, and we call it grade. And then here you're going to write is equals if you open the brackets, and the logical test that you're testing is this. this one for English, marks for James. And then you're going to write comma. Before you write comma, you're going to give the condition. You say if C4 is greater than or equal to 70, comma, the grade should be A, comma, write it here, and then you write comma if, under condition that you're going to test. This is a nested if again C4 is greater than or equal to 60, you're going to say that grade is B, comma, and speech marks, and then you're going to say B, comma, if we have 50 for C4, greater than or equal to 50, comma, the grade that you want to assign is C, comma, if C4 is greater than or equal to 40, we are going to assign grade D. And then the last one is L. So it's the else part. Rather than writing another if condition, since the last one, we're going to just type fail. You have understood? So we have started with if C4 is greater than or equal to 70, we assign A. Then if C4 is greater than or equal to 60, we give it B. And if C4 is greater than or equal to 50, we give C. If C4 is greater or equal to 40, we give D. And then the other condition is fail. If all these are not met, you're going to assign fail. Then you're going to close the brackets. You have opened how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to close how many times? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you press enter. And you can see this student called James got D in English. And when you autofill, you're going to see the grade for each student. So you see student who have A and student who have failed and student who have D, A, D. Okay. Another trick that I'm going to show you, maybe you want to see the number of students who scored an A. We're going to use number of students. Number of students who has scored an A. The condition you're going to use is the count if. You're going to write is equals and then count if. You open the brackets. The condition is this, comma. You open speech marks. Inside, you write the grade, which is A. And when you close, it's going to give you 5 students got an A. And you have this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Switch here. And when you move that, it's going to give you 4 students who scored an A. And if you change the condition here to fail, it's going to give you 2 students. And for D, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's for D, you're just going to change the condition and say D, and there you have it. I hope you've understood. Learn about VLOOKUP, and VLOOKUP works like the phone book in your context, where you search the number of a person using the name. So you already know the name, but you don't know the number, and you want to use the number. So you use the name to look for the number. Let's get started with it. Let me convert these ones to currency. So select, right click, format cells, currency, use Kenya shillings to decimal place, that you can look like yesterday. And then here you want to find records of a certain person using, you know the name, but we don't know the other details. So you want to use VLOOKUP to search for their details. Let me use name, copy, paste, paste. I'm using Control C, Control V, Control V. You already know the name. Maybe for example, we know we want to search records for John, and we want maybe to find out the phone number of that person, or the email, and the salary. So what do? You come here, you type is equals V lookup. Here it says looks for value in the leftmost column of a table, and then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. By default, the table must be sorted in an ascending order. For example, VLOOKUP. Then you open and close the brackets. Before we start with the VLOOKUP, you have to sort. Let's sort. You select, you right click, sort A to Z, like that. After you have sorted your data, we are going to look for the phone number of John using VLOOKUP. You select, then you write VLOOKUP. You open the brackets and close. Inside, you're going to select this cell, comma, select the range of cells that you want to in the lookup. So we have started from B3 to B10, and then you put a comma and you specify the number of columns that you're going to search for the record. So we have how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to find the details for this second column. So you're going to put 2, second column, then you press enter, and you are being told the number of John is this one. Very accurate. So if you wanted to find the email for that person called John, you're going to type is equals VLOOKUP, open, and then again going to close. Inside, you're going to select this. You want to look the email for John, so you write a comma, and then you give the range of cells that you want to check. You put a comma, and then email is in the third column, so you put a 3. You press enter. They have been told email for John is john@mail.com. The salary for John, again, it's going to we are going to type is equals VLOOKUP, in the brackets, John, comma, the range of cells. We're supposed to start from Annabelle, comma, the fourth cell, the fourth column. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. and there it is. And if you want to format this, select and then right click, format cell, currency, and then you press. So if you change the condition here to Peter, going to give you that. Oh, another person like Annabelle, it's going to give you the details. So that's how you utilize some of the most important functions in Excel. We have looked at them and I hope you have understood. Now I'm going to reach them. Goodbye.